Welcome back, dear students. We are up to the inhibitory genes. So in the previous lectures we studied the epistatic genetic interactions and non-epistatic genetic interactions. So in the epistatic genetic interactions, as you know that epistasis is the phenomenon of suppressing or inhibiting the phenotypic expression of the one gene by the another non-allelic gene that we called as epistatis. So in the same zone we are going to study the inhibitory genes. Sometimes the dominant allele of one gene locus in homozygous and heterozygous condition produce the same phenotype. Because of this, the F2 phenotypic ratio becomes 13:3 instead of 9:3:1. One more addition I am going to telling you that in addition to the homozygous and heterozygous condition, the homozygous recessive allele of the another gene locus also produce the same phenotype. So this type of interaction is carried out by the inhibitory genes. Suppose here there are two genes, one is the I gene and another one is the C gene. This C gene is responsible for the color production. So colored, C stands for the color, while I stands for inhibition or inhibitory gene. So there are two genes, one is a inhibitory gene I, another one is a colored gene, that is the C gene. So what happen here, the dominant allele of one gene locus, that is I, in the homozygous, we write homozygous condition as capital I, and heterozygous, that is capital I and small I condition, and the homozygous recessive alleles of the another gene locus, that is the C. So it is a homozygous recessive, so we write it as small c, produce the same phenotype. So simply such type of phenotypic expressions are occur due to the presence of a dominant homozygous and heterozygous I gene, that is capital II for homozygous and capital I and small I for heterozygous condition. So when this gene I has been present in homozygous or heterozygous condition along with the whatever the C gene is dominant or recessive, it inhibits the action of the C gene. So what is the action of the C gene? It is responsible for the color production. So when I gene is present in homozygous or heterozygous condition, this C gene is not able to express itself. So the white colored or white progeny has been formed if you take the example of the poultry birds. So in poultry, white birds belongs to two different varieties, namely white leghorn and white plymouth rock. The white feathers of the white leghorn is almost completely dominant over the colored feathers of black, barred or other colored varieties. But the white feathers of plymouth rock is recessive to colored feathers. So here in poultry birds we are going to consider the two different varieties of the poultry birds. One is the white leghorn and another is the white plymouth rock. Both varieties are white feathered. The feathers of both the varieties are white. So it also shows that white leghorn contain color gene and also with it a gene that inhibits or suppress its phenotypic expression. So genotypically this white leghorn variety can able to produce the color, but in addition to this it contains another one gene, I say it is an inhibitory gene that inhibits or suppress the phenotypic expression of the color gene, due to which the phenotype of white leghorn bird is white. They are genetically colored. They are genetically colored birds but not able to develop their true color because of the presence of a inhibitory gene, that is the I gene, that inhibits or suppress the phenotypic expression of the color gene. But genetically these white leghorn birds are colored but not able to develop their true color because of the presence of inhibitory gene that inhibits or suppress the phenotypic expression of the color gene. So this is the example of the inhibitory gene. So in this example we are going to make a cross between white leghorn bird and white plymouth rock birds. Let us consider color gene by a letter C and inhibitory gene by a letter I. In leghorn type of fowl, the white color of feather is caused by the dominant genotype capital C C I. Similarly, the white color of feathers of Plymouth Rock breed is caused by the recessive genotype small cci. So both the birds are white. Both the birds are white feathered. One of the genotype of leghorn type of fowl is capital CCII, while the another one breed which is also white feathered named Plymouth Rock having a recessive genotype of small CCII. When both white varieties of the fowl are crossed in F1, white colored hybrids appear. So here we are going to make a cross between white leghorn breed and white Plymouth Rock. The genotype of white leghorn breed it is capital CCII, and white Plymouth Rock it is homozygous recessive, that is small cci. So this is the genotype of the parents, capital CCII for white leghorn, small cci it is for white Plymouth Rock. The gametes produced by these parents contain the alleles like capital C, capital I, here is small c, small I. When these gametes are fuses during the process of fertilization, it produces the F1 hybrid having a genotype of capital C, capital I and small I, and the phenotype is white feathered. So when a cross has been made between white leghorn and white Plymouth Rock breed, the F1 hybrid produce it is heterozygous having a genotype of capital C, capital I, small I, having a phenotype of white. When this F1 has been inbreeded, means this capital C, capital I, small I cross with the same genotype capital C, capital I, small I. So the gametes produced are capital C, capital I, then capital C, small c, capital I, small c, small I. So these are the gametes produced by the parents in F1 inbreeding or F1 selfing. So these gametes are produced here. The alleles of one parent I have to return it in separate like capital C, capital I, small I, and the combination I am going to make here capital C, capital I. This capital C it may get associated with the small I, so the gamete contain capital C, small I. Here this small c it may associate with the capital I, so the gamete contain the allele small c, capital I. This small c it may associate with the small I, the gametes produce having the alleles small c, small I. We can also make the combination by taking the another two alleles also. This capital I it may get associated with the capital C, but we get the same allele combination in the gamete. If we take the further alleles like capital I, small I, we get the similar types of combinations of the alleles in the gametes. So here 4 types of gametes has been produced by the combination of the two alleles, that is capital C, capital I and small I. The 4 gametes are produced. Now these gametes are fused with each other. Here we are going to make a checkerboard. So these are the gametes from the male parent, these are from the female parent, and by the fusion of the male and female gametes, the individuals produce or the progeny produce having a genotype of, for example, this capital C, capital I, from the female side it can produce the progeny of capital CCII, while the phenotype is white. Similar is the case here. 16 combinations of the various genotype has been formed by using a checkerboard by crossing the gametes from the male parent and the gametes from the female parent. But the interesting results are here. Suppose in this case the genotype is capital CC, capital II. The phenotype is white. How it is white? This genotype contain a dominant colored gene, that is the capital C. But in addition to this, it also contain a inhibitory gene which is also dominant, which inhibits the phenotypic expression of the color gene C, due to which the phenotype appear is a white. Here is also the same case. The heterozygous inhibitory gene is present here, capital I, small I, while the dominant color producing gene, that is the capital C is present here. It should be able to produce the color. But what happened here in this case, because of this heterozygous I gene condition, this genotype or this individual is not able to produce the color. It inhibits or suppress the phenotypic expression of the color gene C. So the phenotype is white. Here some individuals we get colored. How they are colored? Here the inhibitory gene which is recessive here, so it do not able to mask or suppress the phenotypic expression of the dominant colored gene, that is the C. So the individuals obtained are colored. Here also this inhibitory gene is recessive, small I, small I. Here also this inhibitory gene is recessive, small I, small I. So if the colored gene is dominant and when the inhibitory gene is recessive, it cannot able to mask or suppress the phenotypic expression of the colored gene. So the colored progeny has been obtained in the genotype having capital C, small I, small I. Similarly, capital C, small I, small I. Here also capital C, small I, small I. So these three individuals are the colored because the inhibitory gene is recessive and the colored gene is dominant. Because of the recessiveness of the inhibitory gene, it not able to mask or suppress the phenotypic expression of the colored gene. So the colored progeny has been formed in the individuals having a genotype of capital C, small I, small I. Here also one of the progeny having a genotype of small I, small I. Here is the inhibitory gene is recessive, but the colored gene is also recessive. If it is dominant, it can able to produce the color. But in this case, this color gene is recessive, so it is not able to express. So the progeny is white. So if you see the 16 different genotypic combination, we get a phenotypic ratio of 13:3. The F1 hybrids in F2 generation produce the white and colored offsprings in the ratio of 13:3. So white are 13 and 3 are colored. So these are inhibitory genes which inhibits the phenotypic expression of the another non-allelic gene. Here there are two genes, one is the C gene, another one is the I gene. C stands for the color production and I stand for the inhibitory or inhibition. So this I gene, if it is homozygous dominant or heterozygous dominant, it suppress or mask the phenotypic expression of the colored gene, as a result of which the progeny produce it is white. When it get expressed, when this C gene get expressed under a condition when this I gene is recessive. Under such condition only this C gene can able to express itself. So the three genotypes, that is capital C, small I, small I, these three genotypes are colored, while the remaining 13 individuals are white. Okay, so this is about the inhibitory genes. Next to this is the lethal genes. The ratio is the 2:1. Lethal genes are the mutant genes and result in the death of the individuals which carries them. So these genes under homozygous condition are responsible for the death of the individual in which these genes has been present or in which these genes has been undergoes mutation. So death of the individual occur either in the prenatal or postnatal period prior to sexual maturity. A fully dominant lethal allele kills both in homozygous and heterozygous states. Individuals with a dominant lethal allele die before they can leave progeny. Therefore, the mutant dominant lethal is removed from the population in the same on which has in which it arises. So, the lethal genes are the mutant genes which are responsible for the death of the individuals which carries them. So, the mutant dominant lethal has to be removed from the population in the same generation in which it arises. So, this is about the lethal gene. Furthermore, the recessive lethal genes kill only when they are in a homozygous state and may be of two kinds. One is it having obvious phenotypic effect in the heterozygote, and one which exhibit a distinctive phenotype when it is heterozygous. So this is about the lethal gene. The completely lethal gene usually cause death of the zygote later in the embryonic development or even after birth or hatching. In many cases, lethal genes become operative at the time of when the individuals become sexually mature. Such lethal genes which handicap but do not destroy their possessor are called subvital or sublethal or semi-lethal genes. So the lethal genes when under homozygous condition are responsible for the death of the possessor. The completely lethal genes, they usually cause death of the zygote later in the embryonic stage or even after birth or hatching. The lethal alleles modify the 3:1 phenotypic ratio into 2:1 because of the death of the homozygous individual. One of the individual has been dead, so due to which the 3:1 phenotypic ratio has been modified into 2:1. Here we are taking the example of inheritance of coat color in mice. The inheritance of mouse body color or coat color was studied by the French geneticist L. Cugnot in 1905. The coat color of mice is governed by a multiple allelic series in which A allele determines agouti or mousy colored coat. So this agouti or mousy, which is the most common one. So A allele, capital A allele determines the agouti or mousy colored coat, while the another one allele, that is a capital AY allele, Y stands for yellow, AY allele determines yellow coat, and a small a allele forms black coat. So here there are three different varieties of the coat color in the mice. One is the agouti or mousy colored, another one is the yellow colored, and third one is the black colored. So this capital A allele is responsible for agouti coat color. Capital AY allele determines yellow coat, while small a allele forms black coat. If we see the dominance hierarchy, this capital AY, which determines the yellow coat, is dominant over capital A allele, means agouti, which is dominant over small a allele, which forms the black coat. So this is the dominance hierarchy. Yellow coat color is dominant over agouti. It is also dominant over the black color. So black is recessive and yellow color it is a most dominant color in the mice. So this is we are going to explain here. When a cross has been made between two yellow coated mice, one having a genotype of capital AY, capital A, another one having a genotype of capital AY and small a. So this yellow parent it is the hybrid of yellow and agouti, while the another one parent which is also yellow coat colored is the hybrid of yellow and black. So yellow is dominant over both agouti and black, due to which the yellow hybrid has been formed when a cross has been made between yellow and agouti. It forms the yellow progeny. Similarly, when a cross has been made between the yellow and black, this yellow is dominant over the black, so due to which the yellow hybrid has been formed in this cross. Now such hybrids has been taken in the cross, one having a genotype of capital AY, capital A, another one having a genotype of capital AY and small a. These are the hybrids of, this one is the hybrid of yellow and agouti, this one is the hybrid of yellow and black. When these parents are crossed with each other, it produces the gametes having the allele capital AY, here is capital A. Similarly, the another one parent produces the gamete capital AY and small a. These gametes has been produced by the combination of this allele like this, capital AY, capital A of this parent, this capital AY, small a is of the another one parent. Okay, these combinations we are going to make here. Capital AY, it may get associated with the capital AY. So the gametes possess the allele capital AY, AY. Similarly, this capital AY, it may get associated with the small a, the gametes produce having the allele capital AY, small a. Similarly, the capital A, it may get associated with the capital AY, the gamete having the allele capital AY, capital A. This capital A, it may get associated with the small a, so the gamete possesses the allele capital A, small a. So these four types of gametes has been produced. First two types is of the one parent produced from the capital AY, A. This one is also from the another one parent. So these gametes are fused with each other to get the four different progeny, capital AY, AY, capital AY, A, capital AY, A, capital A, small a. Okay, so here we get the progeny capital AY, AY, capital AY, small a, capital AY, capital A, and capital A, small a. If you see the phenotype, it is capital AY, AY means it is yellow colored. Both are same, so we say it is a homozygous yellow. Here is a yellow is dominant over both agouti and black. So if yellow is present, if the AY allele is present in the genotype, the phenotype is obviously it is yellow. Here is also yellow, here is also yellow, but it is heterozygous because both are not the same. Here it possesses the small a, in the second genotype it possesses the capital A. So it is heterozygous. So the phenotype is same, yellow. Here is a capital A, small a. Now what is the phenotype in this case? Here this capital A for the agouti and this small a for the black. If you see the dominance hierarchy, the agouti is dominant over the black. So the phenotypic expression is agouti. So in this case, four individuals are formed, one having the genotype capital AY, AY, another one having a genotype of capital AY, A, capital AY, capital A, capital A and small a. So four types of progeny has been formed, but this homozygous yellow is because of this homozygous condition, the death of this individual has been occurred in the uterus. During the embryonic stages, the death of the homozygous individual has been occurred because of this lethal genes. Only these 3 individuals can able to survive. So we get the ratio of 2 yellow and 1 agouti. If this individual is survived, we say that we have 3 yellow and 1 agouti. But due to the lethal gene, this homozygous yellow is not able to survive. The death of the individual occur in the uterus in the embryonic stages of the growth, because of which one individual has been dead. So due to which the phenotypic ratio 3:1 get modified into 2:1 because one get dead. So heterozygous yellow and agouti are able to survive here. So we get 2 yellow and 1 agouti. So due to the lethal gene, the monohybrid ratio, that is the 3:1, has been modified into 2:1 because of the death of the one homozygous individual. So this is about the lethal gene. The AY allele also act as a recessive lethal, since in the homozygous state, that is here capital AY, it kills the individuals in the early embryonic stage. Thus when two yellow coated heterozygotes, that is capital AY, capital AY, small a, are crossed, they produce a progeny showing a ratio of 2:1. Since homozygous yellow, capital AY, individuals are never born due to the lethal effect of AY gene. So due to the death of this homozygous yellow individual having the allele capital AY, it causes the death of the individual. So due to which the ratio has been modified into 2:1. So this is about the lethal gene. The another one example we are going to taking here, that is the sickle cell anemia. So sickle cell anemia is one of the disease that has been found in the human being. So sickle cell anemia, it is a genetic state that is often fatal in the homozygous recessive condition. Similar is the case of lethal alleles that we seen in case of the coat color in the mice. The homozygous condition is responsible for the death of the individual. People who inherit one good copy of the gene and one mutated copy are carriers. They are clinically normal but can still pass the defective gene to their children. So the heterozygous condition is not harmful to the individual. These individuals are clinically normal because if they contain one good copy of the gene and one mutated copy, these are the carriers. These carriers are clinically normal but can still pass the defective gene to their children. When sickled shape red blood cells get stuck in the blood vessels, patients can have episodes of pain called crisis. So here in this picture we get the normal hemoglobin, the red blood cells. These are the normal red blood cells which are oval or rounded shape, while the homozygous recessive individuals having sickled shape red blood cells. Sickled shape means a sickle that we generally say this shape, we say it is a sickle shape, and axe shape we also show it is a sickle shape. So this sickle shape blood cells has been formed in the individuals that possesses the homozygous recessive condition. So other symptoms include delayed growth, strokes and jaundice. Jaundice means yellowish skin and eyes because of the liver damage. So these are the symptoms of the disease sickle cell anemia that has been occurred in the homozygous individuals. So the genotypes of the normal person having HbA, this is the normal hemoglobin. If it possesses HbA, HbS, S stand for the sickle trait. So this is heterozygous, so we say it is a carrier. So it is a sickle cell trait carrier. This one HbS which having sickle cell anemia. So this is the homozygous individual which is not able to survive. It has been subjected to the disease of sickle cell anemia. So This is about the sickle cell anemia. Now here we are going to study the inheritance of sickle cell anemia. Suppose one parent is sickle cell carrier, which is carrier, it is heterozygote, means it possesses only one allele for sickle cell anemia. Here is also the sickle cell carrier, which is also the heterozygous. When these two parents are mated, the gametes produce having HBS. One HB is normal, HBA. Here is also HBS, S for sickle cell anemia, it is a sickle cell carrier, and another one is the HBA. When they are fused, it get the progeny or the F1 offspring, HBS, 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 HBA, HBS, HBA, and HBA, HBA. So of these four individuals, this individual, it is homozygous recessive, it dies. Like the coat color, in the mice, if you remember, this yellow coat colored mice, which is homozygous, it goes on death in the early embryonic stage, or it kills the individual in the early embryonic stage. So these individuals are not able to survive. The death of these individuals occur due to the homozygous allele capital AY, capital AY. Similar is the case here in the sickle cell anemia inheritance. This homozygous recessive is not able to survive. It kills the individuals because it possesses the both homozygous hemoglobin, which is sickle shape, that is the HBS. But these two heterozygous, these are the carriers. It possesses only one HBS allele. Here is also one HBS allele and one normal allele HBA. Here is this individual is a homozygous normal. It do not possess the HBS allele. It possesses both the normal allele. So it is homozygous normal. So due to the death of the homozygous recessive, which is having allele HBS is not able to survive. It kills the individual. So due to which the phenotypic ratio 3:1 has been modified into 2:1. So this is happened because of the death of the homozygous recessive, one of the homozygous recessive individual. So this is about the lethal genes. So in this way we finish our third chapter, where we studied the non-epistatic genetic interactions, epistatic genetic interactions, and lastly the lethal genes. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe.